Hey guys, welcome to Bath Fizz and Foam. My name is Robyn French-Smith. It's Friday, which means it's time for Face to Face Friday. Oh my god, everybody's excited, right? I don't think that I have like a hair cover thing in here today, which is tragic because my hair is actually clean. Like yesterday, my husband, he comes home and he's like, your hair looks so pretty. And I was like, thank you. I washed it. Like, I washed it. That's literally it. Like, that's how bad my self-care had been over like the previous week, that washing my hair was kind of a big deal. I'm just saying. Okay, so today we're going to be making some bath bombs. This is inside of here I have the powders for the humid bath bomb recipe, and then everything except for the citric acid, and then I am putting in my liquid ingredients, except I'm not adding any fragrance oil or binder. And then I'm going to mix that up, and then we will split that so that I'm going to do like a quarter size batch today. Instead of a full-size batch or a half batch. So a lot of times people buy the humid weather recipe, they're trying to work with it, and they're trying to work with either splitting it, or they're trying to split the amounts they're like on here, or anyway, make smaller batches. I don't suggest that. I suggest doing it like this, but of course you're free to do it whatever way you want. You're free to do it whatever way you want. I'm just saying, this is, to me, the easiest way to do it, because there's some very small measurements for some of the ingredients that it's like, it's just easier, you know? Because until you add the citric acid, your mix has kind of a lot of time that you can work with it, so you're probably good. I'm running I wouldn't say I'm running a little behind. We'll pretend that I'm showing you all this process on purpose, but really I'm not. I'm like running a little bit behind today because, we got bikes for Christmas. I know I mentioned that, but the thing is, it's basically like my dogs got bikes for Christmas. Like, that bike is not for me. I am their slave now, and that is why I have the bike. And so pretty much every day around 10:30, I've been putting a leash on the big one, and then my Chihuahua's 10 years old. She's too old to come run with us, but she cries if she doesn't get to come along. So I have a little messenger bag that I stick her inside of. It's like a dog bag that I stick her inside of. And she gets to ride along. And so anyway, this morning I was like, well, it's Face to Face Friday, that's not happening. And they stalked me. They stalked me all the way through the house. Every time I would move, they'd be like, is it time? And I'm like, no, oh my god, we're not doing that. We're not doing that today. So I had to take them on a super quick bike ride because they were making me feel so guilty. I changed, from PJ pants to living life pants, and they started crying, because they thought it's time, we're going, it's gonna happen. And so I was like, oh my god, I felt so guilty. So I'm just slightly behind, but it's okay. Brandy says hey, and Kiana says hey guys, what's up? So okay, so I had my powders in there, I added all my liquid ingredients, I let it mix for a minute, I transferred it because there's stuff that gets stuck to the side of the bowl. I like to make sure that all gets mixed in, so I do that step. Now I'm going to measure out my citric acid, and since I'm doing a quarter size batch today, I'm just going to do a quarter size batch of citric acid. yeah, basically you can like blame my sad little chihuahua. Not really that late though. I'm just showing you the steps. That's what's happening. So I always sift my citric acid, and this is why it absorbs moisture. And so if I don't sift it, it has little clumps in it, makes it a little bit harder to work with. So now I'm gonna split it, and like I said, I'm gonna split it into quarters. Y'all, also this week, my husband and I both got our COVID boosters, and because we both have compromised immune systems, and so I am not about getting sick. I am not about that life. And like, his booster shot was like, he's like, oh, I don't know if it worked. I don't know if they even gave me anything, because like nothing happened. Like he didn't feel anything. And even when he got his, this is our third shot, but even when he got his second shot, he went to work the next day and he was like, yeah, I was really tired. And I'm like, bro, really tired? When I got my second one, I was like done. I was like on the couch. Like, it was a miracle that I could walk to the kitchen and get a cup of water. I was like so exhausted and tired. And so, same thing this last time. Like, oh my God. I don't know. I was so sick. So I'm glad that I got it. I'm glad that it's over. But geez, it was a whammy. And oh my God. So when I was there were like some kids that were having to get their, I don't know what, they could have been getting their COVID shots. They could have been getting something else. I don't know what they were getting. They were getting shots though. Because it's like a, it's like a clinic. So these kids were like screaming bloody murder, and like there was like 5. I felt so bad for the parents, but it's like, I'm not gonna step in and touch your kids and stuff, but like 4 kids, 2 parents, the odds are not in your favor in that situation. And like the kids were like running away and like screaming, and I definitely filmed it, and I was like, I would love to put this on TikTok, but like it also feels like so wrong, so I'm not going to. But it was amazing. Hilarious, amazing. I felt like that inside. I didn't do that, but I felt like that inside. Okay, so I'm just gonna cover this, and I can come back to this mix later. I'm just gonna cover it. See, this is the other mix. I can come back to it later. So, here's what we're making. I haven't even told you guys yet. Look how cute these are. This is the Cada Heart Lock mold. It's like a nice small little mold. Some of the other molds that I have for Valentine's Day are bigger. So I wanted to have kind of a smaller option. So this one weighs about 4 ounces. So I wanted to have kind of a smaller option. Whoops, forgot my fragrance oil. Wanted to have like kind of a smaller option for, I don't really sell them, but I do. There's a local shop here, and they're like super sweet. They let me just bring in like random stuff that I make for the lives, and then they sell it if they can. I'm like, thank you, because otherwise I was just like piling up in my house, and all my family and all my friends are like, I'd be like, do you need bath bombs? And they're like, no, we still have like 500 bath bombs from the last time you gave us bath bombs. So anyway, I appreciate them so much. Okay, so I mixed my fragrance oil in. I put my citric acid in. Now I'm gonna add, so I want these like really pale pink, right? So I'm gonna use a micro scoop, and I'm gonna use red 27, which is a lake colorant. So when I add lake colorants, I add them directly to my mix like this. That's one of the things I love about them, is they are super easy to work with. They don't have to be bloomed. You can just add them straight in, and what you see is what you get with the lake. So if it's not dark enough, like right now, then it's not going to be dark enough later. It's not going to, like, you don't bloom lakes, none of that with lakes. So it's just what you see is what you get. I think I think that's about right as far as the color. Like, I think those two colors are about right. So I'm gonna, that's it, just one tiny little micro scoop. Oh, and the fragrance I used was Strawberry Patch from Nature's Garden. It smells really good, and it's a non-discoloring strawberry, which is kind of a big deal, not gonna lie. I'm gonna give the sides a scrape because you can see, like, right there, like some of the mix isn't all the way mixed in. Oh, you see? So it's important to kind of give your sides a scrape. Make sure everything's getting mixed in. I could mix it by hand, but I'm lazy. So there's that. And then inside, since these are so pale, like if they were this pale pink because of dye, the water would still be like a little bit pink. But if I just add that much lake, it's gonna look like the water is not colored at all. So to counteract that, I'm gonna add some dyes, and these are dyes. These are embeds. I'm going to add some embeds. And they have dyes in them, and they will give a really strong color payout in the water, so I'm going to try to hide them in there if I can. So that is good enough for this little baby. I'm going to transfer it to a bowl, and I need a bowl, and add some binder. So I know if you're like just starting to make bath bombs, this probably looks like a lot of steps. I probably make it look way more complicated than it has to be. I should probably just do like a simple batch by hand sometime. But I don't know. I have like, it's like anything. So like as you get used to it and you start working with it, you're gonna kind of get like your rhythm and your routine, and it's be like, you know, this is how I always do it, and so I'm just gonna do it like this, because then you know that you did all the steps. Does that make sense? So for my regular size batch, I use water as my binder, and for my regular size, or for a half batch, I use about 6 sprays of water. So for this, I'm going to use 3 sprays, and we're going to see how that does. It is practically freezing here right now. It's 47 degrees. Very cold, okay? Very cold. Practically freezing. Because of that, cold air holds less moisture, so even though the humidity is like 70% today, I probably will still need to keep an eye on the moisture of this bath bomb. I might need one more spray of binder, or I might need to add some extra oil to it, or it might be fine. I don't know. Well, we're gonna see. Okay. Oh, okay. Sally says that your husband's mom has COVID. Oh, that's so sad. I mean, I can't imagine. Like, after getting the shots the first time around, I was like, I can't imagine like how, and I know it affects everybody differently, but apparently, because like my husband, all of his shots have been like a blip on the radar for him. So I'm like, is he just naturally immune to COVID or what? And then for me, like all of my shots have been like, I am going to die. Goodbye, cruel world. I'm like writing out my will like every single time. So, you know, and I know it affects everybody differently, but I just can't imagine like how much worse actually having it must be. It must be terrible. So I am so sorry to hear that. And then Susan says that you're in the 70s today, and it was in the 40s during your 3 days of winter. Yeah, so Houston, we will have like a cold snap, but it won't be that cold. The great freeze of Texas that happened last year is like hopefully 1 in a million kind of thing. Fortunately, I lived in Alaska for some time, so like I wasn't confused about how to stay warm, because like some Texans definitely were, and I felt bad for them. Okay, I'm gonna switch this, so hopefully the unmolding process is like closer to your eyeballs. And I'm going to switch this to ounces. I'm sorry that I know like my measurements for my recipe are in grams, and then I weigh them out in ounces. I have been called out for that. Lo siento, I apologize. I don't know what to tell you. I am not perfect. Okay, so to put embeds in, I add just a little bit of mix. I like my embeds to be on the bottom of my bath bomb because they're going to be closer to the water, which means they should come out quicker. And then I'm just going to put them towards the sides because that also means that they're going to pop out a little bit quicker. And then I'm going to fill them up like so. Now normally I give them like a little bit, like if I want them to be 4 ounces when they're done, I weigh like slightly above 4 ounces, but because I have those embeds in there, I'm just gonna go ahead and weigh them like right at 4.5 because I don't, you know, that'll put them like right around 4, I think. I don't know, I'm guessing. There's a lot of what I do that's just like, I'm just guessing. Okay, and then I'm just gonna press. I almost used today. Tell me if you guys, like, I know I've been saying for a while, like I'm gonna use a vacuum form mold, and I haven't done it, but I did almost use today a vacuum form mold because the shop where I sell my little shop, Bloom, they said that those were the ones that sold the fastest, and what they are is it's like a bride and a groom vacuum form mold that I have, and I don't know where I got it from. I want to say Wild Time, maybe Too Wild Hair, not Too Wild Hair, but Wild Time. Look how cute. There's a light right there, so I can't pull it closer. Look how cute. So simple. I love it. So yeah, they said the bride and the groom actually were the quickest selling. So that was kind of interesting to hear. I also made, I almost did these today too. I just didn't want to tempt fate because, you know, it's so cold. It's so cold outside, which means it's so dry. But I also made the Cada Rocket today because they said that one sold really fast. Possibly due to the name that I gave it, which was mildly suggestive of what, yeah, it was just a mildly suggestive name. It's very inappropriate, but it was funny, and they said that it was mostly girls that bought it, ironically, so there you go. But so I almost made that one. There's a lot. There's just like so many molds that I feel like could work for Valentine's Day. And so I had like a really hard time picking which ones to do today and Monday. Whereas like during Christmas, I'm like, what else should I be making for Christmas? It's just not my not my thing. Elizabeth says upper 30s today, and yesterday it was 1 degree. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I mean, the thing is, I always tell people this, but like when I lived, I'm sorry, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm taking this off, pressing this up, popping it out. Okay. When I lived in Alaska, I like really never shivered because it's so dry there that like I just didn't shiver that much. Just didn't. And then here in Texas, especially Houston, because it's so humid and wet, like the wetness, the moisture just like gets in between. Even if you wear layers, it gets in between all your layers, and you're like always cold and always shivering. And I don't even know, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's like a different, it's a different cold. It's built different. It feels different. Don't like it. Do not recommend. have I ever done a tour of my workspace? Well, I've been asked if I would do a tour of my workspace, but the problem is that there's like this like cave troll that like comes in at night when I have left my workspace completely orderly in a very well preserved manner, and this like psycho hose beast comes in at night and like destroys stuff. And so it's like literally always on the verge of just like insanity in here. So like, oh my god, during the so I was like on a TV show. I don't know if you guys know about that. Anyway, when we were doing the TV show, they like, when we were prepping for it, like I think it was a week before or 2 weeks before, they have all these kind of requests, and there's like all kinds of things that take time that you don't even think about when you're like, oh, so-and-so's on a TV show. It's like no big deal. It's like, no, there's like getting your wardrobe approved was a big deal. Like there's all kinds of things like that. So one of the things they sent was a request for a picture of our workspace. And I was like, bro, homie, my friend, listen to me, okay? Listen. You have me going on TV in like a week. I am madly making as much soap as possible, practicing every technique I can possibly think of that I might need. You cannot see my workspace right now. Like, it's not a safe space right now. It is not okay. Anyway, I did clean it up just long enough to take a picture and then like turn back around and went to disaster zone again. But so the answer to that is no. TLDR, no, I have not. Someday I may. I actually ordered some more shelves because that's going to help things, and because the answer is shelving, definitely not the source of the problem. And so we're going to see. Maybe that'll help. And then if I do that, then I can do that. Something about a rocket. I don't know what we're talking about, but I see lots of laughing and I like that. I like laughter. It makes me happy. All right, so here we go. Embeds. Oh, Candace says that she triggered me. It's just one of those things where it's like, you don't want to know. 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 You don't, though. You think you want to know, but you don't, you know? Like, I used to clean houses. Okay. So here, to be fair, okay. It's probably not as bad as I think it is. Okay. Because I used to clean houses, and I'm a creative type, you know, the creative types. And so I'm naturally a little bit more messy. I live my life in a series of piles. Things go from one pile to the next pile. And I always thought that I was like dirty until I started cleaning houses for other people and like saw the way people lived. And like, granted, I was there to clean their house, so like it's gonna be dirty, but there was like some things that I was like, madam, you cannot wait to clean. Madam, you can at least maintain it between the times that I'm here, okay? You can't live like that. No. And so that was like eye-opening for me, and I was like, okay. I'm messy. That's what it is. I'm messy, but I'm not like dirty. So that's what I realized. So perhaps my workshop is similar, where it's like, in my mind, it's like, no, it's like a catastrophe. But in real life, it's probably like not that bad. But I also am like super arrogant and prideful. I'm like, no, I don't want you guys to see me like dirty at my worst. So, oh, I think no, I didn't write that. Okay, so I think I can get one more out of this. But basically, yes, Kiana, you triggered me. Sorry, girl. It happened. Let's see if I can get one more out of this. You guys, I just have to say, for a moment, let's actually talk about bath bombs for a moment. Look how cute this is, and like how perfectly they come out super easily. If you are just starting on your 3D printed bath bomb journey, mold journey, this is a really good one to start with, because as I've said before, and I will say again, hearts are awesome because you can use them all year long. They will sell all year long. People like them no matter what. So it's not like strictly a Valentine's Day type of item. So it's a great mold if you're looking, and it's so easy. Like, it's super easy. It's cute. Do it. I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link for you guys so you can, you know, get yourself one if you're so inclined. Now, Cada molds do have like a longer lead time than some of the other mold makers, so there is that to keep into consideration, but it's totally worth it. Just gonna say. I also tend to buy, especially if they have specialty molds, I tend to buy them like at least one season out. So like the end of summer, I will be buying like, well, like midsummer, I'm usually buying like my Halloween molds and stuff like that. So I'm usually buying at least one season out, at least, so that you have time. Because, you know, sometimes you get it and you think like, this mold is the answer to all my prayers. It's gonna fulfill all my dreams, and then you get it and it has more of a learning curve to it, or it's a little bit more difficult to work with than you planned on. So, you know what I'm saying. Give yourself time. Don't put yourself under pressure. There's literally no reason for that. Life is full of all kinds of other pressures. Don't let bath bombs be one. All right. Look at that. So cute. A really pretty pink color. With these embeds though, it'll still color the water really nicely. I will leave a link in the description too. I don't want to touch things with my gloves. To where I got the mold, to where I got the colorant. This is the one I'm planning on doing Monday, as long as the humidity is good here. He's so cute. I showed him like for 5 seconds on Monday, and like people were like asking, who is he? Oh my god, it's Peppy, look at him. And so that one is actually up on the Inedible Soap site. But I have like some other like non-traditional soap. Foxy, Love Stinks. I have the Let's Bone. I have like a bone. I have like You're Hot. I have like a chili pepper. So I have some kind of like non-traditional molds that we're gonna post over the next few weeks to kind of give you some ideas of things that you can do for Valentine's Day. I almost said Halloween, but for some people it's the same. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching and joining me and hanging out with me today on Friday. I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go back and see all the comments and questions I missed, and I'll make sure to reply to them. But as always, happy making!